since the cases are reported to be spreading in the rural areas, we have to see how we can minimize the suffering of the people during this second wave, and how we can contain the spread of the disease, so that we don't end up seeing the mutant variant emerging from our own backyard in our own state, and thereby somehow see ourselves unprepared to take on the challenges of any third impending, inevitable third wave. There's another matter of concern. Now, looking at the trend as to how the virus is mutating, we for sure know that we have to be prepared to face the inevitable third wave of the pandemic. And when we are talking about the likely emergence of the third wave, when and how fast is a question. In addition to that, we also talked about the uncontrolled spike in essential commodities pricing pattern across the state. Edible oil which were available at 100 rupees and below 100 rupees are being sold at 200 rupees. Now you have to understand that people have very limited cash reserve. The population, the citizens don't have surplus investable reserve to be subjected to this kind of uncontrolled price rise. I don't see any measure or any effort from the side of the government to take cognizance of this concern. Whose job it is to regulate the market pricing? Is it a complete manipulation of the market through understanding or otherwise? We have to know. It's very difficult to reconcile with this kind of uncontrolled price rise, which is showing only increasing graph. Talk about the diesel prices, talk about the petroleum prices, everything, except the prices when farmers have to sell their own perishable produce. It is just the other way around. What is the price that farmers are fetching for their ginger this time? What is the price that the farmers are fetching their price? Or what is the price that farmers had to sell their perishable produce from the farms, farm products? The price of the ginger, the price of the turmeric. It's just the reverse. The month of April and May, the price of the turmeric was just below 10 rupees. Fresh turmeric in the rural areas, in the villages. The price of the ginger. But when it comes to purchasing essential commodities, irony is that the prices have spiked in terms of 100%, 50%. Who is going to protect the interests of the people? You ask every household, probably the mothers, they will tell you the agony of seeing their hard-earned money and the money which they have probably saved for all their possible important family agendas, educating their children, preparing for their children's marriage, so many things, saving their money for completing their houses. Look at the price of cement. Look at the price of the steel. Look at the price of the CGI sheets. What is the price? Why is it skyrocketing? Who is benefiting out of this? Is there a mafia all across the nation who is operating? Or is it that government, because they want to illegally extort from the public, because, the GST is in terms of percentage, 18%. If the price goes up, the tax also goes up. You see? Then someday you will see government saying, oh, you had a good collection of GST. How? By increasing the prices? By allowing this unchecked, unregulated, uncontrolled price rise across the nation, across the state? This is how we expect the government to say that they're responsible to take interest of to take cognizance of the interests of the people. I think we are looking at a situation where people are just thinking that, okay, we are all helpless when the price of various commodities, including, building materials. You're talking of providing home to the homeless, low-cost houses. People trying to, build a respectable dwelling houses from their hard-earned money. Suddenly they go to market and tell me, sir, the price has gone up. Everything. Who is going to protect us? Who is going to protect the people, the citizen? Nobody is talking. You have so many cement factories in the state, and you pay the price of cement, which is, if you compare, you find out what is the cement being sold in other states, where they have cement manufacturing factories. And here, you have so many cement factories, and the price escalation has never stopped since last 2 years. Is anybody getting benefit out of that? I think this is something which we must investigate. We must investigate. Who is benefiting out of this price? Uncontrolled price rise. I see lots of poor families buying 1 bag cement, 2 bag cement, slowly taking care of their incomplete construction. And they come and tell, sir, the price of cement has gone up. Friends, it's time when people in authority must understand their responsibility of protecting the interests of the people. There's not just one issue, there's so many issues. I think every day we'll have to have a press briefing to talk about those issues. Even the name and fame of the state, the reputation of the state that we built over the years, of which we were proud of, gone down the drains. Is it not painful to see how Meghalaya revolves around negative narratives? Read about Meghalaya for all the wrong reasons. Even while we are so focused on fighting against this pandemic, where we are appealing to everyone, okay, come together because we have to fight this war against this virus together, collectively. We must win this battle collectively. The government is seen to be very busy in completing various other deals which goes against the interests of the state. To complete the policy decision on those issues which people say, hold on, stop, because it is against the interests of the state. But they are utilizing this time to complete those decisions. Mr. A's time. So it is not our responsibility. What is that legacy then? If they understand their legacy, if they're borrowing, they should repay immediately, within 1 day or 2 days. Do they know that they will be in the seat after 2023? Is it their permanent post? Why are they borrowing then? Already collected from us. Tax have been already collected. It is not pertaining to someone who is paying tax on his own behalf. Here you are talking about a tax, the VAT, which has been collected at the time of selling petrol or diesel to the buyers, to the consumers. Okay. So there are many more things. That's why I'm saying what they are saying is completely in deviation of the mandate of law. against the interests of the state. Mandate of law is there to protect the interests of the state. When it deviates from the mandate of law at the cost of the interests of the state, whose money it is? It is the money which belongs to the state's exchequer, which should accrue to the state's exchequer. That means whatever money is in state's exchequer is public money. Public money we are talking about, whatever tax has been already realized from us, ultimately has become public money. Decision after decision, you count them. What decisions have been taken by this government during these last 2 months? Where are their priorities? They forgot to know even that the state doesn't have an ambulance which can save lives. In 1 year they need to wake up. But they have so much of time to sit under the four walls of the secretariat to decide on few things so expeditiously, so fast. Those decisions which everyone is saying that these are going against the interests of the state. Hold on, stop, review. Has this government become so dictatorial that they don't want to even listen to the voice of the people? They don't even listen to the voice of their own coalition partners. This is what I see. I saw one day a copy of the letter which was circulated to all the friends from the 4th Estate, from the UDP, signed by all the leaders of the UDP, including the president of the UDP, urging the government of the state, particularly the chief minister, to review their decision on various policy decisions which they have arrived at pertaining to the MEECL, pertaining to the power department. What has happened? What has happened? Has anything changed? You read the contents of the letter. On Subhagya, what did the letter say? The letter said that maybe, you look at even the figure of 100 crore was mentioned in that first para. I clearly remember that letter. What has happened? So friends, this is time for all concerned to save the interests of the state. Not to look at anybody's individual interest and anybody's individual agenda. I am quite surprised by the move of the government to arrive at one-time settlement in respect to the taxes, the VAT realized by the petrol pump owners. Friends, I will tell you one thing. When anyone who has to buy petrol or diesel, when you go to the petrol pump, you are paying the tax, the value-added tax. Petrol and diesel has not been considered to be included under the GST regime because of certain reasons which were collectively agreed upon by the states at the time of transiting from the VAT regime to GST regime. Now, everybody who has bought petrol or diesel from the petrol pumps in the last preceding 3 years, we have already paid the tax. Is it clear? Or you have not been charged of the tax when you buy petrol or diesel? VAT has been realized by the petrol pump owners. That means I have paid tax, the people have paid tax. If tax has to be refunded, it has to be refunded to us, the taxpayers. That is what the law of the land says. Otherwise, the strategy of the government is that, okay, we will give you rebate, you come to us. Is some middleman working? We have to verify. We have to verify because this is completely not, or in other words, I will say, this is from complete deviation from the provision of the law. I will further speak on this subsequently, specific to this. But what I am trying to say is that it is abundantly clear for everyone. One doesn't have to even know the nuances of interpretation of value-added tax, the act which we passed in 2003. To understand that each one of us, whoever has purchased petrol or diesel, have already paid the value-added tax.